Hello everybody, welcome back to Cat and Arcade. I will be your player 1, Mobkin78, or in this case Mibscons, as Steam says. Welcome to another game. Don't know if this is going to be more than one part or two parts, but it's called The Bottom of the Well. The game is. Introduce it real quick. It's got 9 out of 10 on some website. It was the first Google result that came up, so I thought, hey, that's good. It's a free-to-play game, and it takes about 20 minutes, it says, to get through one playthrough, but hours to get through multiple results. So I don't know anything about the game. I think you're Alice and you try to survive, and that's about it. So I'm going to go through the game as I guess I would in real life and do what I would do. Apparently you're retelling a story that happened to you. So this game is a visual novel. You'll mainly interact with it by selecting one of many options during the narrative, which is mainly text-based. There are, however, 2 additional layers of interaction. Customizing Alice. This you do when you start a new game and allows you to begin and play the game with an entirely different set of skills and characteristics. For example, a fit and survival-minded Alice will have a different experience from an unfit but social Alice. Pick your skills with care but have fun experimenting. 2. The inventory. At a certain point in the game, you will be able to choose what Alice is carrying. How much you can carry depends on Alice's backpack, which is directly dependent on her organization skill. You can only pick up items once in the beginning of the game, but you may lose them during the course of the game. All interaction happens through clicking. No right clicks or keyboard commands are ever needed, but there are 2 keyboard commands that are used. Escape brings up the in-game menu. Holding down Shift and Space, or Enter, will skip the text to head faster. Okay. Enjoy the game, and if you have any suggestions, comments, and such. Okay. Let's start this new game. Welcome to the bottom of the well. Just making sure it's recording here. Alright, we good. Welcome to the bottom of the well. This game is a visual novel. Most of the gameplay, yeah. Bottom of the well does have some gameplay, aside from the multiple choice, though. The most important of which the which is the kind of Alice, our protagonist, you are going to play. For your first playthrough, we recommend you use default Alice, but the customization is there to be used. Alright. Even if you complete the game, a different Alice might have a very different experience. If nothing else, you might just want to find a new way to die. Whoa, what? Like you're playing our game. I mean, I did see this is kind of a... Whoa, I would like the default Alice. I would like a randomly generated Alice. I guess we'll just go with the default Alice for the first playthrough. The default Alice is capable of the game, but not necessarily Alice is career motivated, no survival... Something about no survival skills and being alright. Oh. Dream diary. Today I had the weirdest dream of my life. I'm waiting for Joe to come online so I can talk to someone about this. God, I feel like I'm going crazy. Whoa. Oh, God. Morning, eh? Morning! What is... Did you catch the anniversary reading last night? No, well, I tried, but I fell asleep. Listen, about that. You fell asleep? Oh, come on, Alice. In Wonderland is like our favorite... Let me finish. Something happened. I was tuning in on my radio. You're such a Luddite. Amazing I can even catch you online. Shut up, I'm not a Luddite. I just like analog things. Anyway, I was tuning into the broadcast, and I must have hit the AM switch or something, because suddenly the channel changed to something else. What? Aliens? Oh! Government-run number stations? No, it was this weird, white noise at first. It's hard to explain why I was so drawn to it, but I could hear snippets of some melody, maybe lyrics, but the signal was weak. So you turned it off and continued looking for the Alice broadcast. So I went out on my balcony and turned the antenna around until the signal came through clear. It now sounded more like music, with the odd signal in the background. When logic and proportion have fallen sloppy dead, and the white knight is talking backwards, and the red queen's off with her head. Oh, so somebody's pirate radio broadcast of golden oldies? It felt like there was something else there, some message that the music was hiding. I know it sounds weird, and then I fell asleep. What a story. No, hear me out. I dreamed. I didn't know I was dreaming. Do you understand? It was entirely lucid, but like waking up in another world, except I don't think of it as another world. Ugh, does this make any sense? You had a super lifelike dream where you didn't know you were dreaming, but you were still lucidly in control. Sounds pretty rad to me. I'm sure it would have been, except for the whole end of the world, the apocalypse bit in the dream. Okay, now you've got my attention. Alright. So, like I said, it was the end of the world. Everything I did that day felt like the real thing. Every smell, every sound, every color, every touch. It's important you know that. I wasn't acting like I would in a dream. I didn't know it was a dream. So what do we have? A can and a smiley face, Wednesday, July 1st, 2 days for my birthday. Yeah? Mad Hatter. Oh. Did pick up on that. There was no warning, no build-up, just nothing. Just between one moment and the next, the TV had turned to the emergency alert system, and this voice that sounded like it had been recorded in the 60s told us we were under attack. So I guess the characters are based off Alice in Wonderland. Were you alone? Or maybe they're just two Wonderland fanatics. Yeah, I had a really long day at the office, so I'd sworn off all social contact for the evening. I had the TV on in the background, just as noise. Wait, what? The office? You mean you've got some kind of real adult person job in this dream of yours? Yeah, actually at the college, student admissions office. Hey, don't sound so surprised. I am going to graduate in just a few months, you know. With a BA in English Lit. Bachelor's, I think. I don't know. Shut up. Such skill with words. Anyway, what happened next? Like I said, the TV suddenly turned to the emergency alert system. Jacked the volume all the way up too. I didn't even know they could do that. The broadcast told us we were under attack right now and that we needed to get to shelter. That we had less than 30 minutes before the bombs hit. Jesus, sounds scary. At first I didn't want to believe it. I switched the channel, but they were all the same, and then the sirens started. Tornado sirens, flood sirens, I don't know, and I knew things were serious. So, what'd you do? I went online to find out what was going on. I immediately tried to call someone. I needed to think about my options. If I were in the situation, yeah, I wouldn't call someone. I would go find out what's going on. Then I would call someone and be like, hey, yo, you alright? I heard aliens were attacking. Didn't you try calling someone, like your parents? Oh, that's from outside. I was like, why is there a dog barking, kids yelling? Of course, I tried, but it was futile. The phone network was completely overworked, but the net still worked fine. So, what'd you find? The net was still working, but the bandwidth was severely lacking. The major news networks were either down or overloaded, but all the big search engines defaulted as some kind of government site in super simple HTML. That kind of confirmed it really was the real deal. The internet? Being down? Interesting. Isn't the net supposed to be some kind of DARPA invention anyway? I wouldn't be surprised if they had some kind of system in place to take it over if need be. Well, they hadn't taken it over. You could still go wherever you wanted. Facebook still worked. Of course. Apocalypse-proof servers? Nice. It was insane. I tried to get in touch with my brother. He's the only one who's even got an account, but there was no reply. I spammed my aunts and sent an email to my mother, but I don't know. It felt like I needed to find someone right there and then. And? A group chat. It was spreading through our social network like wildfire. Someone had found the closest old fallout shelter that was actually still operable, down on 3rd. People were going there, just grabbing all they could and running before the bombs fall. As soon as I heard, like, get to shelter and stuff, I was like, did this turn into Fallout all of a sudden? The game series, of course. So what happened next? Please don't sue me, Bethesda. You know, I did find you online. That must have been useless. I'm all the way over in Old Blighty, unless things were different in your dream. No, you were still in the UK. The bombs had already started falling there. You disappeared. There's nothing more to do. It was only a dream, Al. Alright, his name's not actually Mad Hatter. That's good. Sure. So then what? Who is Chess? I need to think about... I guess this is what I'd... A Fallout shelter would seem like the best option. Although... I'll go with that one. Okay, what was your plan? The broadcast kept saying to stay indoors, to keep all windows and doors closed, stuff like that. Was it realistic of you to think you could stay in the apartment? Realistic? It wasn't like I had been through a lot of apocalypses before. I'm not sure what constitutes realistic. I had enough food in my cupboards to last me a little while, so at least I had that going for me. Oh yeah, and then I had my trusty radio, of course. I tried it, and it worked. It was sending out the same emergency broadcast as their TV. And you called me a Luddite. You got me there, so... What did you do? Alright. Fallout shelter. The old Fallout shelter was down on 3rd. It wasn't far. Close enough to walk, anyway. Did you think to bring anything? Oh, right, yes. I grabbed the biggest bag I had. A backpack. People always called it magic. You could fit so much into it. Bigger on the inside and all that. Whoa. Inventory. What are you? Okay. Do I have this? What is... My university ID, except it's no longer for student but for staff. Doubles as an electronic key card. Okay, I guess I don't... The student office gives these maps to freshmen. Somehow this one ended up in my apartment. It's got everything. Subway map, street map of downtown area, detailed. Oh, okay. So, I definitely want to take... Oh, I see. Okay. My flashlight. I keep the batteries in it fresh, make sure it works at all times, especially when the evenings get darker, but I still have to go out for my run. The rest of my clothes are in a state of advanced disarray, but I've kept this set clean and folded in case I suddenly find myself on a date. The radio that started it all. Every channel I can get just keeps repeating the same recorded emergency response message. Miniature sleeping bag. Always useful sleepovers, but actual... Wait. Oh, then I don't really want that. Alright, so I'll definitely take the map. I'll definitely take the flashlight. Oh, it doesn't show up. I guess I'll take spare clothes. For sure. A day's worth of non-perishable food. Okay, I'll take some food. What is legs? Alright, and I'll take my... I don't know. Oh. Old sneakers, a little beaten up but perfectly serviceable. That's not here. Radio, more food, or sleeping bag. If I was in the situation I was in, like I am now... I guess I'll take more food, because you don't necessarily need a sleeping bag. And it's not like it's winter, is it? I have no idea. I guess take sleeping bag. You can do many things with it. This is your inventory screen. Job pick up by the person button to the left. Read a description by the items. Same items can be carried in your hands, but most would be carried in your backpack. You're done. Press exit. Okay. Well, hold on. What was it like? Did you run into trouble? You could say that. God, that shelter. So, I headed towards the shelter from my apartment. I'll admit it, I was still kind of hoping it was all some kind of big false alarm, and by tomorrow everything would be back to normal. Like an extreme version of Orson Welles' War of the Worlds broadcast. Actually, the panic that radio show caused was greatly exaggerated, probably by Welles himself, and it worked. We still remember it today. Great ad campaign. Whoops. I guess that English Lit degree is coming to some use at least. Yeah, well, it didn't really feel like it. I remember trying to think of words to describe the way the streets felt, the way the city sounded. Turmoil, chaos, anarchy, tumult, pandemonium. The capital of hell. Now who's got a degree in lit? Stop stalling. Yeah, it's just... Oh no! I missed the entire text! Trying to double click so I could... I'm so smart. I'll freeze frame that. Maybe. Did you make it to the shelter okay? The shelter was actually in the basement of a bar. They used it as storage, which was handy since there was a door towards the street. The shelter was actually in the basement of a bar. They used it as storage, which was handy since there was a door towards the street. But there were no signs or anything like that anymore. I just knew about it from the Facebook conversation. Okay, wait, isn't whoa. Isn't that the bar isn't that bar? Oh, isn't that bar you always go to, the Rad Bar? Yeah. Go on, Alice. Did you get in? I went to what I thought was a side door. It wasn't the kind of alleyway I'd usually hang out in. I could just imagine junkies and hobos sleeping among these trash bags anyway. The suspense is killing me. So I knocked on the door and then immediately tried the handle. It was locked. Nothing happened for a while. Okay, so it's just one click, not double. Whoops. And then the door opened just a bit and she stuck her head out. She? The queen. She was this redhead chick who had taken charge of everything in there. She was the one who originally posted about the place. So I guess she felt she owned it somehow. The Biscuit Queen. She stood there in the doorway looking me over and then basically said, "We're full," like it was an exclusive club. Can't believe they just keep you out for no good reason. Was it actually full? Ha, not a chance. There was a sign on the door that said capacity 100. There's no way there was 100 people in there already. I said as much. She didn't reply. I guess you didn't just let it be at that? I tried talking my way in, said I wasn't the only one wanting to give... I would try talking my way in, although I'm not a very good with conversations. I'd probably just fight my way in. Said I wasn't the only one wanting to get in, like that. But it was just you. Yes, but like, in theory, there'd be others than just me. Did she buy it? She looked behind me and back at me and then repeated, "I'm sorry, but we're full." What'd you do? I tried to push the door open. I wasn't having any of this crap. This door clearly said capacity 100 people. There was no way there were 100 people in there. So what'd you do? I tried pushing, but I was way too slow and weak. She kicked my foot out and slammed the door, leaving me standing in front of it. Oops. Yeah, I tried banging, but, well, there was nothing else to do but give up. I stepped back from the door, the sound of it slamming shut still echoing my ears. It was the sound of desperation. I knew there'd be no more opening it. I had to think of something else. So you were right back where you started. Kind of. So, realistically, what were your options? I needed to get out of town. The only safe place I knew close by was my apartment, so I headed back there. I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, I feel like this game, as of right now, wouldn't be much fun to play multiple times. But like the fact that knowing that you can change Alice's like characteristics and stuff, pretty cool. Looking forward to that. Maybe more than one part. The only safe place I knew was close by was my apartment or get out of town. Just checking how long. So it's been 15 minutes about. I would think I need to get out of town, but do I have a car? Do cars work? Oh, I can look at the map. Wait, hold up. Oh, that's sound. Food. Smiley face. Backpack. Social life. Oh, I see. Nose. Oh, so the basic Alice has like no survival skills. Supplies, career, dating. I don't know what this is. Strength, probably. Looks like a dumbbell, maybe. Social life. Okay. Alright, so I need to get back to my apartment. We get out. I guess apartment. I hurried home from the shelter. It wasn't far and rushed up the stairs back to my apartment. Put the TV on and it immediately validated my decision. It told everyone to stay inside at home and to avoid panicking. Is this the part where you start putting aluminum foil over the windows and prepare your bathtub for extended living? As if I even had the presence of mind to do that, I just listened to the man on TV. He said, move you and your family to the centermost room in your house, preferably one without windows, preferably underground. Didn't your building have some kind of shelter? At least on this side of the pond, it feels like you can't walk down a block without stumbling on half a dozen bomb shelters. Is the UK really like that? Sadly, no. We never got into the habit of getting bombed during our wars, so we're the ones doing all the bombing. Oh, that's so depressing. Anyway, bathroom it was then. Did you think to bring anything? Oh, right, yes. I grabbed the biggest bag I had. A backpack. Didn't? What just happened? Wait, what? Did I screw something up? Serious question. Why didn't you just bring your entire apartment with you into the bathroom? I mean, like bed, every scrap of food, etc. Oh, that must be some kind of repeat text for the loop of the game. First of all, I was kind of afraid of the building would, collapse. I wanted to be ready to run, so I packed my bags in advance. Secondly, the truth was I just didn't come to think of it. I'm sure I had tons of other useful things lying around that I just didn't think to bring along. Alright, so what happened in the end of the world? Come on, let's hear it. Took a lot longer for the bombs to begin falling than this said. I stayed online for as long as I could with my laptop in the bathroom, door closed, everything edible stacked around me. The news suggested that the US missile defense was working, that it was shooting down the Russian missiles before they could land. But I guess sooner or later our luck ran out. So, I'm trying to look deeper into this game. Go on. Well, first the electricity went. I remember being lit by just my laptop screen. Before I had time to panic, there was this rumble. Then plaster started raining down from the ceiling, and toilet seat underneath me underneath me kind of started feeling oily. I don't know, like I was in danger of sliding off of it. Jesus. I was completely terrified. There's nothing really that can prepare you for it. And that was just the first one. How many did they send your way? How should I know? After that first hit, the internet was down. The lights didn't come back on, but then a few moments later, there was another one. You know how you kind of count seconds between seeing the flash and hearing the thunder when there's lightning? Yeah. This felt like that. Shock, aftershock. And then counting the little white flakes dropping down from the ceiling, hoping and praying the next one wouldn't just obliterate you. Did it go on for long? I don't think so. After the third one, my laptop and phone both stopped working suddenly. EMP? As soon as I see that, I think of the book Fifth Wave, movie I heard was absolute trash. I've never wanted to waste my time watching that from the ratings it got. But the book, like the aliens, like there were waves, and one of the waves was an EMP that got sent down, and it just turned off all electricity in the entire world. EMP? What's that? Electromagnetic pulse. It's this, like, pulse. Secondary effect of a nuclear blast that knocks out electronics. Wait, how could you not know what that is? It's your dream after all. That is kind of weird. Dream me definitely knows more things than real me does, or did. Well, okay, dreams are the subconscious, but, like, you don't really have to know what an EMP is for that to happen. I mean, electricity turning off seems pretty, like, what happened. How long did you stay in there? Well, the man on TV said to monitor broadcasts until an all clear was given, or at least 24 hours. But, of course, I hadn't brought the radio, so I had no idea beyond what the man on the TV had said. Did you have enough food? I had enough to last me 24 hours at least. So what was your decision? Oh, so I guess it was to repack your stuff when the backpack loop came up. Oh. I left as soon as the explosions... I could never... Monday, whoa, wait a minute. Is this the dream days? No. Ash rain? What? I haven't actually been paying much attention to that. Maybe those are like clues to the steps you've taken. Honestly, my fear would be getting bored. Like, I wouldn't be able to sleep, and I wouldn't really be able to do anything. I guess I would just kind of stay for as long as I could and to try to think about it, instead of acting upon what I don't know. I stayed for as long as I possibly could until my supplies ran out. And how long was that? So they did say 20 minutes. I guess I've been reading everything. Well, I didn't actually have an overabundance of food. Well, that answers the question then. How long did you last? I guess is this where I die? I made, well, not quite 24 hours. I waited the whole night and most of the morning, I think. But it got increasingly hard to figure out how much time had actually passed. Hope you brought some candles and a book. I brought my laptop, but yeah, that didn't work out. But I did have a copy of Gulliver's Travels in there. Oh, and Alice in Wonderland, of course. I didn't own any candles. Some English student I turned out to be. There we go. How archaic. Back to reading paper. Tisk, tisk. How do you tisk, tisk? Tisk, tisk. I don't know. How do you tisk, tisk? Anyway, I sat on the toilet and read using the flashlight. It really did wonders to keep me distracted, and I had plenty of batteries. Wait. I have to ask, are you telling me you sat through the night in real time? I told you, I had no idea I was dreaming. It was real. I'm awake and I know it was a dream, but it's like I really experienced it. I get panicked just thinking about it. Do you ever have dreams? People watching, have ever dreams, like, you wake up? Like, I've had a dream before, right? It was, let's say, I think I had an assignment due or something on Monday. I don't know. I don't know the specifics of the dream. I totally forget at this point, but I didn't remember having the dream when I woke up. And later in that day, I started working on my homework assignment. And then I was like, wait, this feels wrong. Because in my brain, I guess the dream had planted the idea that my homework assignment was due Monday or due the next day or something. So I was like doing it, and I was talking to a friend, and they're like, what are you talking about? It's not due until like Friday. I was like, wait, what? And I look, I'm like, why was that dream such a vivid, like, representation? Why did that one dream? I had no idea. Don't remember even happening. I could think back to the memory. I'm like, wait, was that a dream? Did I like imagine that actually happening? Dreams are so weird, man. That's what I want to study. And I always thought lucid dreaming would be fun. Yeah, I have yet to try that. Maybe if you have power. I had none. Did you get peckish? After a while, luckily I had some food, although I had to eat it cold, of course, but it was food. It's not like I felt like having a pizza. But it was good to fill up my belly with something. I suppose if a lucid dream like this actually happened, you wouldn't know it was a lucid dream. Comfort eating. Funny. Oh. Day, September 20th, clear skies. I don't know why that changed, though. My food's gone. So after you left the bathroom, what did you see? You know, it actually took me a little while to wrap my head around that it was still my apartment. You see, all the windows had shattered, so everything was covered in shards. There were books and papers all over, blown around by the wind, I guess, and ash. Was that the ash rain? Ash? Yes, I was in shock, like stepping into another world. I walked across this debris, glass crunching under my feet to the window. Everything was gray, but I could see the morning sun through the clouds. It was snowing ash. I just said debris because I felt like it, but I said debris first because I know if people were to watch this, they'd get like, no! Or usually that's what people on the internet are like. That can't be good. Did the city stand? I think the city was making most of the ash. I could see smoke rising from what little horizon I had visible from my apartment, and it smelled of burnt and smoke outside. But it was also eerily quiet. What would you do? Coughed up my living room? Seriously though. I went to see if anyone else in the building was still alive. That I would... I feel like these decisions would change based on if Alice had survival skills. Yeah, it's been 25 minutes. When is this over? Not like I'm in a rush or anything. Just saying. I'll probably have this minimized and the border in the background because I want to. Or just ransack the rooms. I went under the corridor and called. No one answered. I knocked on the neighbor's door, but there was no answer from there either. But then I thought I heard them leave the day before. I mean, I'm cool with like living alone and stuff, but for something like this, it would definitely be good to have like one, maybe two people with you. Do you know anyone in the building? No, not really, but I still tried knocking on everybody's door. I mean, I know I wasn't the only one who'd stayed inside. Did you find anyone? Let me finish. See, the thing I realized was that I had just gotten lucky. By the way, when I do that, I am anticipating words to be written, and then when they're not those words, I'm like, oh, whoops. I found an open door halfway down the hallway, facing west. All my windows face east. It wasn't just open, it was blown away. Oh, damn. I peeked in, calling out a hello, and found myself looking out to nothing. You know, no walls, no floor, barely any roof left, no windows, no people, kitchen cabinets hanging loose above the abyss, that kind of thing. And beyond, nothing. Just ruins and fire. The whole downtown area, gone. There was a thick, ashy snow falling everywhere, a lot of it drifting inside. A sudden gust suddenly blew a faceful of it at... Excuse me. Suddenly blew a faceful of it at me, and I gasped. Oh, ash inhalation. These background drawings are pretty cool. Oh, this is back to the first one, though. That doesn't sound good. My stupid self was standing there, mouth agape, staring. So, of course, I got a lungful of it. Damn idiot me. Oh, this is your mood. Probably should have realized that. I feel like an idiot. Can't really do the sight justice, though. I don't blame Dream Me for staring. Dream You isn't you? She is and she isn't. It's hard to explain. Anyway, did you find any other survivors? I did, after a while. I actually bumped into one other person who was doing the same thing I was. His name was Ross, although I think he was Italian. Anyway, I was just so damned happy to find I wasn't the only one alive. We hugged and he just exhumed this cloud of dust. When I started coughing, he explained he had gone into some of the destroyed rooms to try to look for survivors, but that half the building, at least, was pretty much destroyed. Was pretty much destroyed. Alright, I'm sorry I wasn't racist. I can't Italian accent. Oh, jeez, but there are more than just the two of you? Yes, we gathered at the bottom floor. A little group of us. Ross, me, an old lady from the ground floor, a family with 2 kids, the night janitor who had hidden in a broom closet when the bombs hit. And, okay. No one was badly hurt, but we were all coughing from the ash. Weren't you worried? I mean, about radiation? I didn't really have time to be worried about radiation. We were more worried the building would collapse on us. I mean, half of it was already gone. Okay, so what did you do with your little group? Well, first we all sat down and exchanged stories of our survival, speculation on the causes of the attack, all that. It was the most natural thing in the world. I get the speculations part, but I mean, hasn't it been like less than 24 hours since the explosions happened? Yeah, I was, like one guy has an epic story about running away, and then you're just like, yeah, I sat in the bathroom eating my canned peaches. Okay, the day just changed again, but it just didn't change. Like never mind. But soon enough, we needed to make a decision. Ross said I was the last person he'd found alive in our building. Alright. I suggested we stay put. I suggested putting as much distance between Ground Zero and ourselves as possible. I told him about the fallout shelter. I left on my own. I kind of want to go back to the fallout shelter. Fallout. Because this just doesn't seem safe. This doesn't seem safe either. I don't want to be on my own. Rather have I feel like that's too many people. If I could just leave with like maybe 1, 2, or 3 people. 1 to 3 people, yeah. When I revealed I knew about a fallout shelter within walking distance, the argument just kind of seemed to stop. They were magical words. Fallout shelter. I guess that's for, like, better for everyone. With radioactive ash raining down from above, I'd imagine so. Whoops. Not like I'm really emphasizing voices here, but I'm kind of doing it. With a slight deeper on Mad H. Whatever. So we quickly gathered our things and headed downwards towards 3rd. I honestly hadn't even considered what things would look like down on the street, though. I mean, not really. What did it look like? Oh, sweet! So what does this mean? I have no idea. Okay. That's good. What's this like? I guess it's in walking distance, but still decently far. I think this is what a river is in a map. What did it look like? The streets? Awful. Ruined buildings everywhere. Charred by fire, most of them. We had to pick our way between cars and debris and bodies. There are so many bodies, it makes me sick just to think about it. Must have been pretty difficult to travel. Yes, although it was oddly inconsistent. I think my building was the last one directly affected by the blast. About a block in the opposite direction, there were mainly intact buildings, as much as you could call them intact, I guess, still standing. What about the others? Were there any survivors on the street? Yeah, there were others. A lot of them were a lot worse off than me. Some were blind, others were burned, broken, or in shock. What about Biscuit Queen? There just wasn't anything I could do. Where was the government? I don't know. No one knew. I hadn't heard a single ambulance siren since the event. For all we knew, there was nothing left. Oh no. Oh no. That's bad. I am one eye X'd out. 2 eyes X'd out is death. Was the shelter still there? Well, the building, it had been and wasn't. I mean, it had collapsed. It was just a pile of rubble and rebar and a charred mess of house innards. And the shelter? I knew the shelter used to be underneath this bar, the red bar on the first floor, the rad bar on the first floor. I got us as close as I could, but the entrance was definitely blocked. Holy crap, but there were probably people down there too, weren't there? Yeah, and some of them were my friends. That is, if anyone survived. What did you do? Did the fallout continue to fall? Oh, yeah, so there was a question of time. Either we gave up and went back to the apartment, or then we tried to leave town. Hey, what about the people potentially trapped underground? Or then we try to dig our way out to them. It'd take time, but maybe it would be worth it. What did you do? Try to the apartment right there. Am I doing something right? Because it's taking a bit longer than 20 minutes? I don't know. 20 minutes was a rough estimate. Wanted us to try to uncover the entrance. What? An old lady, 2 kids, and a family with 2 kids. An Italian guy and me. And a janitor who was hiding in a broom closet. Did it say if he was old? I don't think it said he was old. It said it was a guy, though, I think. I guess we could move out of town? I don't know. I wouldn't want to try to uncover the entrance. I just feel like you uncover it, you get in, and nothing's gonna be down there. Do we have any? I guess we could ransack someplace on the way out. I argued strongly that we needed to leave right then and there, but what? But then they wanted to stay, the family with the child. He started feeling bad, nauseous, diarrhea. He wasn't in any shape to walk anywhere, they said. What about the fallout shelter? They were reluctant to move far? I thought about suggesting that. So what did you do? Mob? Mob. I backed down. Maybe staying put for now is the... Oh, would I leave? I would want to stay with people. We all sat down and talked about what to do, and I suggested we stay at the apartment or somewhere close to it. How come? Well, if the house hadn't fallen yet, it probably wasn't going to fall, and besides, we could stay in the lower levels. We could pool all our food and maybe go through the empty apartments for more. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It wasn't stealing. I mean, this was survival. But the ash, the radiation. Yeah, I'm not saying it was actually a good idea. At least we got to rest. At least I had a chance to change my clothes. I don't know how big a difference it made, but it felt wonderful to have something non-dusty against your skin. No emotional improvement. The thing was, the family with the kid was getting really sick, throwing up, clammy skin. It was pretty gruesome. We were all actually getting pretty ill. There's a radiation, probably. Radiation poisoning. Yeah. And you? How are you feeling? I felt absolutely awful. Weak, delirious, unable to keep food down. And, well, this thing changed, but it didn't really change. We decided to stay, but in the end we didn't really have a choice. The truth was, we were all feeling the radiation. The ash rain wouldn't stop. In fact, it turned into this black sludge rain. The child got worse. We all got worse. It wasn't as quiet any longer. There were people moving in the ruins. Other survivors. We heard gunshots. We heard a lot of buildings falling down the distance. Crying, but no sirens and no more bombs. Mutually assured destruction. Mad. What the hell were they thinking? I mean, it was just a dream, of course, but I don't know. I died. Well, damn. What? It wasn't fast. It was nice. It wasn't nice. God, it felt far too real. After the kid died, the rest of us wanted to go find help, but we were too weak to move, so we just crowded from the doorway and windows as passers-by. Thank you for putting in the correct plural of passers-by, but you don't need the hyphen. But no one stopped. This was one screwed up dream, Alice. I had never felt so sick in my life. I vomited and shat out everything I had to eat. My head was splitting in a headache. I was too weak to move. My cuts didn't stop bleeding. I never want to feel that way again. I'm just saying I don't swear just because I don't like to swear. I don't know. I have nothing against it. I'm not bleeping it out or anything. Just saying I don't like to. How long did it take? God, your subconscious must hate you. Thank you for making some connection between subconscious and the dream. I think I got lucky in the end. The building collapsed. Finally, the last thing I remember before waking up was getting impaled by a rebar. It was a release. Damn. And thus concluded my dream. Well, that was interesting. What do you think? I think it felt incomplete, like there was something missing. That wasn't the way it was supposed to end, you know? Dreams are supposed to end in certain ways. This one was, I think. It felt like I was trying to tell me something, but I wasn't listening closely enough. It's just... Maybe you can try again next night? See if you hear the same recording? Speaking of what? This frequency was on? I don't know what it's skipping there. That's the weird part. When I tried to see, I realized I hit the right channel and was in fact reading the Alice in Wonderland. And this isn't exactly some obscure numbers station frequency in the AM bands. Well, maybe you'll dream it next night again. That's the good thing with dreams. You can always dream them again. And maybe do something different the second time around. That's actually a decent segue-ish kind of thing. Red nettle loading. ... Alright, so that concluded for part 1 of The Bottom of the Well. Go through these. Red Nettle Studios is Natasha Blatovic-Trigg. I am so sorry. Graphics / CEO. Peter Scott, narrative designer. Music and sound by... I'm American. I'm sorry. I speak English. Juicy Elcelia. Fonts were those built on fungus by Chris. I feel like I've heard of that. Never mind. No, I haven't. Probably not. Is that it? Achievement unlocked. I just want to see what achievements I got here. Mob, hello. Reach the evacuation center live, but evacuation center. Oh, I haven't earned that. Finish your first playthrough. Okay, cool. I'll have to look at that. maybe we'll go on. But for now, this is part 1. Thank you for watching. If you have indeed been watching, I did want to put a face cam on this video, but it wasn't working out because the lighting's terrible. It's nighttime again, and I'm just bad. So, see you all next time. Have a good one.